everybody, and welcome to IndustriMontagne episode 7. Now, you'll notice that I have my wireless map on my hotbar. And, remember when I said last episode that that elevator was clearly visible on the map? Turns out my eyes deceived me, and I don't know what I saw that I thought was where the elevator actually was, but it turns out I had screwed that up. And I'll explain to you how I screwed that up shortly. Let me first make that redstone torch. Alright. There we go. And that crafts into sticks. So I'm going to go ahead and make 8 more. Let's see, grab some more stuff out of here. All of the ores, except for that tungsten ore, comes out of here for the moment. And I'm actually going to go ahead. Do I have the torch on me? As a matter of fact, I do. This is something that's needed to be done for several episodes now. And there it is. Yeah. For some reason I never bothered to light this place up. Ah, well. Anyway, I'm going to start, I think, by smelting that tin ore. While it's melting, no, I put them in the chest. Okay. Now, I probably should have grabbed my rubber tree saplings while I was here. Oh well. Anyway, rubber tree saplings, sticky resin. What was I going to make with that? Okay, right, yeah, I'll get to that later. But the very next thing I want to do is something that's what I'm going to do. First off, I'm going to put the tungsten ore in here. You notice that one tungsten ore has an EMC value of 16,384. That is, as you can plainly see, twice the EMC value of the diamond. Well, okay, it requires you to do elementary math, but still, you can clearly tell, but still, 2 diamonds. And I'll prove it by getting 4 diamonds out of my 2 tungsten ore. Now, what I'm going to do is craft a diamond block that's 9 diamonds. I am going to teach it to the transmutation table. It is 73,000 EMC, a very expensive item. And it's only going to get even more expensive because I'm going to surround it by 8 of this Eternalist fuel. It is the top tier fuel in equivalent exchange. It is the final product of the energy collector here. And a diamond block surrounded by 8 Eternalist fuel gives me this dark matter, which has an EMC value of just under 140,000. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my energy collector. I might as well teach it to my transmutation table. It's got an EMC value of just under 83,000. So now what I'm going to do is, if I have this right, should be a U-shape of glowstone, dark matter on top, and the energy collector Mark 1 in the middle gives me an energy collector Mark 2, which has an EMC value of 233,000, give or take. It's a lot more expensive, but it is also quite a bit faster than the Mark 1. In fact, it's about 4 times as fast, and I want to say it has about 10 times the internal storage. Now, I've got my colony star in here, and that's fine, but what I'm really going to do is put the redstone in there, and then it's going to upgrade that to coal and go through the normal upgrade process for an energy collector. In the meantime, I can't tell, but it's very possible that my furnace is done with its first operation. Yes. And in fact, it is. So now I'm going to go ahead and take the copper ore, put it in there, and return to my crafting table. And I'm going to take the stone and the stone slabs out of here. And I'm going to use the stone, that way, gives me pressure plates. You'll recall that I said at the end of the last episode, when I was up there at the 3rd floor station, that I didn't necessarily want to use a button for the launch, that I wanted to come up with a better solution. Well, Railcraft just happens to have a block that is perfectly suited for what I want to do. And that's this. I put a pressure plate in the middle, surrounded by stone slabs, and I get this player detector. Now, what I'm going to do is, first off, get that boarding track out of the way, mine that up, and then I put that there, and I have to hope that's right. Now, I know that's not right. That's going to be pointing the wrong way. Now, there is a way to test this. Just let me go over to my auto-sorting system over here. And I think one of these, this chest right here is the one that has my minecart. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put the minecart there, on top of the boarding track I just placed. Get in. That is exactly what I wanted. As long as the minecart is empty, it stays put. As soon as I get in, take off. I think I'm going to go ahead and put that, as well as the one concrete I kept in there for the time being. Got a bit more smelting to do, so let me grab the copper ingots out of there and put in my iron. Now, what's the next step of this? Alright, let me think here. Alright, I'm going to take this 5 wood, craft it into wooden planks, and then take the wooden planks and convert them into 4 tree taps. Tree taps do not stack, they are tools, and tools never stack. Now, let me think. I know I was doing something with the rest of that stuff in there. I'm sure I'll remember more once I get... Oh, right. Yeah. Now I remember. Alright, well. So I think as soon as this gets done, I'm going to set one sticky resin aside for the time being. Go ahead and put the sticky resin in the electric furnace. And what's going to happen is it's going to smelt into rubber. Now, this is not the best way to get rubber. You actually want to put that sticky resin in what's called an extractor. The problem is that you require rubber to build the extractor, and you require the rubber to build the generators that power the extractor. Kind of a chicken and egg thing, which is why Alblaka, in his infinite wisdom, allowed us to smelt that. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and plant these rubber tree saplings. You can see a number of spaces I've marked out with torches. Those are where the rubber trees are actually going to go. And I know I got 9 such spaces. And actually, let me check something while I'm here. And that involves the sapphire axe. And if I yes, in case you hadn't noticed, I do have Tree Capitator installed. It's a mod that basically allows me to cut down the base of the tree, and the whole tree comes down. Or at least all the logs in the tree come down. Very useful. I did, however, have to modify my configuration file to allow the modded axes to work. The default configuration only works with vanilla axes. So, in the meantime, I'm going to clear the rest of the way out of the way. Alright. Did get a sapling there, so I'll figure out a good place to plant it. Not a lot of good places to plant these things. Yeah. Maybe I won't bother planting them. Just keep in mind the goal of cutting down these 2 trees, the one that was here and the one that was where this third is still bare. The sole reason for that was to... Is it nightfall? Or did I work all the way through the night already? I've worked through the night. That's sunup. Unless it was after sundown when I started. It might well have been. At any rate, let's see. Yeah, get the rubber out of the electric furnace. I'm going to go ahead and make the assumption that all of that iron needs to be refined. That's an IndustrialCraft recipe, by the way. Iron ingot in the furnace becomes refined iron. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and grab these two here. See, I do get an achievement for that. IndustrialCraft includes its own achievements. I haven't shown the achievements to you, and I may never get around to that. But at any rate, let me think here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the rest of the stuff out of here. Let's see, go ahead and put these two up in my inventory. And then what I'm going to do is put 2 rows of rubber on the top and bottom, and then a row of copper in the middle gives me copper cables. Now, what I can do with copper cables and refined iron, it gives me an electronic circuit, but I don't know that that's necessarily what I need at the moment. Let me think here. Alright, so there's the rest of my refined iron. I'm not going to fret too much about the refined iron at this point. If I can remember the recipe. Okay, I need copper cables on top, 10 ingots like so, and then I put the redstone here and here. That gives me the RE battery. This is from IndustrialCraft. I'm going to be focusing more on IndustrialCraft this episode. Now, the very next thing I'm going to make is this here. 3 RE batteries in the middle, 5 wooden planks, and then the copper cable on top, and that gives me a bat box. I'll explain what it's used for when I'm ready to place it. In the meanwhile, I think the generator is... I needed more iron, didn't I? Right. At any rate, let me think. 5 iron, and that gets me up to 8 cobblestone, so I'll go ahead and put the 5 iron into the furnace. Now let me get over to the furnace. In case you're wondering, what I am going to be making ultimately is, this is going to be the beginning of my IndustrialCraft system. What system I'm going to have for IndustrialCraft. And IndustrialCraft's main use for me is going to be in item processing. So let me go ahead and put the cobblestone like so. That gives me a furnace. Now, let me think. Is this done yet? Almost. So let's melt the last one. And then back to the crafting table. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this inverted V shape of iron. The furnace in the bottom gives me the iron furnace. You could also make an iron furnace with 8 iron ingots and no regular furnace. But I just find this slightly cheaper. A slightly cheaper way of doing it. And I take the iron furnace, a row of refined iron in the middle, the RE battery on top gives me the generator. And I'm in the unfortunate position of only having 1 copper cable left. At any rate, I can craft the machine block. I'll put the machine block, the electronic circuit here, and then the tree taps on the sides here. And I was afraid I'd get those mixed up, but no. And that gets me the extractor. Alright, this is going to be slightly tricky. Let me think. What's going to be my best approach here? At the moment, I'm going to go ahead and put the Klein Star in there, sticky resin in there, because I do need more copper cables. I desperately need more copper cables. You know what? Never mind. Do I still have... Surely it's in here. Yes. Tree tap is in here. That's the great thing about having a mobile toolbox like that. So what I'm going to do is basically what the rubber trees have grown. I'm going to tap the rubber. I'm only going to click once. I know double tapping will gives you a small chance of basically getting extra resin. It also gives you a large chance of completely depleting the spot altogether. I'm not willing to take that risk. Well, there's a rubber tree sapling, which is fine. Any of my other rubber trees grown? No, not that I can tell. Alright? At any rate, I have set aside a designated area for my IndustrialCraft stuff. It's not next to the lake that's next to my main base. It's actually next to, well, can't really see it at the moment, but yeah, that lake right there. And in fact, this is it right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put the generator here. I'm actually going to go ahead and, actually, I didn't want that there, did I? No, not in that orientation. No. So I'm going to go ahead and put that box, like, actually, yeah, I'll go with that for the time being. I always reserve the no, I won't go with that for the time being. Let me think here. Let me get into my alchemy, into my blue bag here real quick. Grab some cobblestone. Alright. And then go ahead and put that on top like so. The rest of the cobblestone I can go ahead and put up in there. Probably should have mined those 2 blocks out first. And then, like so. There we go. Alright. I'm not going to bother powering the generator just yet because I don't have any way of connecting it to the battery box. So there's no place to store its power. Right, as you can see, just the one for now, unless one of the others has grown on me. No, that's a column of gravel. And I don't know that bone meal even works on those. Another sapling, I guess. Oh, right, because I knocked off a non-trivial chunk of the leaves. Those that are no longer connected are starting to decay. Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright. And that looks to be it for the saplings from that tree. No other growth in the IC2 rubber department. Alright. I have to say, I like how the forest conceals my nether portal. Who knows what I'll do about that going forward. Let's see here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and grab 4 more then out of the transmutation table. And then I'm going to smelt it all but the one anyway. And then I'm going to make my way up. As I mentioned at the top of the episode, well, as I mentioned last episode, I put a wireless transmitter near the elevator. In doing so, I missed a very critical step. And unfortunately, I'm now having to go up there to rectify my mistake. In case you're wondering, the transmitter has no power. So let me get up there, and I'll get that gravel fixed once I get the mercurial eye. Let me get up here. Alright. So, yeah. Alright. And now I still have that redstone torch. There we go. And now, if I load up my wireless map, and if I go a little ways away so that my cursor doesn't, yes! That red dot is what should have been there last episode. That's what I was really looking for. And that is at the elevator. I apologize for my failure on that front. Alright? That said, boy, what's the best way back to base? Do I, A, dive into the lake and swim across? Do I, B, billy goat my way across the side of this hill here? I think I pretty much decided on B, haven't I? Alright. Well, that was a long fall. But that is another rubber tree that just grew on me. Does it have any tapping sites? Oh, please let there be a tapping site. Alright. No. Aha, there's one. Let me... Okay. There we go. Actually, I see another one there. Yeah. Okay. That works. I'm not going to be in a massive rush to get those sorted out. What do I have on saplings? 3? Let me see if I can't grab a few more. Yeah, it's just a matter of punching down the leaves. Now, you can let them decay naturally if they're not connected to the tree, but that can take some time, and that time is something I don't have at the moment. Alright? That said, I'm going to go ahead and make my way back to my red power room here. Yeah, 6 of those, 6 rubber. And I'm going to go back to my crafting table, craft those with a trio of copper to get the copper cables, and now I can actually finish up the, well, the first stage anyway. No, maybe not quite yet, but I'm inexorably approaching that point at least. Now, the reason I elected to start with the extractor, it seems like a standard opening for IndustrialCraft is the macerator, or possibly the electric furnace, but I went with the extractor first. Simply because, well, alright. I do have enough cabling to get it down to an extractor. If I want to put the extractor there, that's not going to work. What I could do is put the extractor there. As you can see, it has no juice at the moment, because there is something else that I need, and that is fuel for the generator. Now, the generator can use... Best I can tell, the generator can use any fuel a vanilla furnace can use. Why did I think I could get out that way? At some point, I'm going to want to tunnel through the mountain and try to build a more convenient rail line to my IndustrialCraft area from my pad here. In the meanwhile, I'm flying past the pad over to here, and I'm actually going to go ahead and grab, I've got better choices in this chest here. I'm going to grab 4 cold coke. You'll recall that the cold coke came out of the coke ovens. Speaking of which, at the end of last episode, I had coke oven up there, coke oven down here. I took the coke oven that was up here and moved it down here. And this is effectively becoming the coke oven district here underneath my main pad. The other thing I'm going to do, while it occurs to me that to do this, I'm going to take my bed from its off-pad position onto the pad itself, and then sleep in it to formally set this as my spawn point. Alright? Now, in the meanwhile, I'm going to make... Yeah, I have that, so I have everything should have everything I need at this point. So I'm going to head back over to my IndustrialCraft area. And the reason I built it here is because, well, I wanted to avoid cluttering too much the lake around my main base. At the same time, I wanted this close to water for purely aesthetic reasons, and I'll build a formal path, either a formal path or a rail line. Haven't decided which yet. At any rate, I put the cold coke in here. It is now starting to burn. It is generating power in EU. EU is IndustrialCraft's power. And it's sending that power here to the bat box, which is filling up fairly rapidly with coal coke. The coal coke, for the record, has about twice the burn value of regular coal. So now I've got the power from the coal coke going into this bat box, and then this cable is going to get the power to the extractor. I'm going to go ahead and put the sticky resin in the extractor, and I'm going to give this a minute to do its thing. Let me think. Where do I go? Alright, as you can see, the extractor is still working. It's not necessarily the quickest machine, at least not by default. But once it's done, it gives me 3 rubber. 3, obviously, is a lot better than 1. Alright? So in the meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and put my tree tap up in my tool bag. And later on, I'll probably be replacing that tree tap with an electric tree tap. But for now, a regular tree tap works. I'm not in any huge rush. Now, first off, the rubber spots on trees do regenerate over time. That said, the ones on this tree have not regenerated yet. Let me go ahead and grab this tree here. Alright. And am I going to get lucky? Well, should be fully healed up, yes. So go ahead and tap that site there. Only the 1? Oh well. Thanks to the extractor, 2 will give me a new set of copper cables, which is good. Although, for the next thing I need, it's not copper cables. Oh. There's a tapping site down there with another, I guess that was 3. Alright, so let me go ahead and finish de-leafing this tree just to make sure that I do get all the saplings that it has to drop. And do keep in mind that, yes, I will eventually build a proper rubber tree plantation. I'm just not there yet. I have a bit more work to do before I can start on that. Let's see here. This site, oh, I guess that tapping site is already regened. So let's go ahead and grab it. Grab its contents. Alright, that tree's not grown. That tree hasn't grown. None of those 3 trees have grown. There's another tree up there, but it hasn't grown. Yeah. So that's all the resin I'm going to get for the moment, but that's fine. That works for me. That works for me very, very well. Alright. Now, what I'm going to do is head back to the IndustrialCraft area. Part of me is thinking that building all these structures this far apart, not necessarily my brightest idea. At any rate, I've got the new rubber into the extractor. Encountered a little bit of a lag spike there, I'm sorry to say. Although I have to say, it has gotten quite a bit smoother since I updated Fraps. Now, returning to base, to my table here, and I am going to go ahead and use this to make a copper cable. I just realized I need 3 more iron for something else that I'm wanting to do. Let me see here. Oh, it was that chest. Okay. In case you're wondering, that is a beehive from forestry. Not getting to it just yet. Don't want to wait too much longer to get into beekeeping, but at the same time, I'm not going to be in a huge rush. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and put the iron ore in my blue electric furnace. In the meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and grab... Okay, I guess I already grabbed the rest of the stuff out of there. Alright, I'm going to get my alchemy bag out. I do need 2 cobblestone. I'm going to combine them with sticks to make levers. I know I am going to need 2 levers. something else that I just realized I had forgotten. Ah, well. I can still get to it. Let's see here. I'm gonna grab a pink dye. Yeah, and some red alloy wire. Let me think. Got a decent chunk of redstone here. Yeah, go ahead and grab 4. Actually, let me check something. No, the recipe should be analogous. Okay. So got everything except I do need 12 glass. Alright, so I got the 12 glass that I need. Now I'm going to go back to, actually before I go to the transmutation table, I'm going to go back to my blue electric furnace because I know it's done already with the first part of it, but I have to refine the iron. And while that iron's refining, I'm going to return back up here. No, I need to do this first. Right. So I'll put the client star there on the left, and then I want 2 green and 2 red dyes. Alright? And then I'm going to go ahead and put the red dye like so. Redstone, glowstone dust. Gives me red lumar. And then following suit with the green, with cactus green, it gives me green lumar. Now, I'm going to go ahead and place 2 columns of glass on each side, 2 redstone on the bottom. Red lumar like that gives me a red lamp. And the green lumar gives me a green lamp. So I actually took out more glowstone than I needed. Oh well. Alright, so let me put some of this extraneous stuff up here for the moment. Oh, now I remember. There was something else I needed to do. Something else I needed to smelt. So let me take the refined iron out of there. Go ahead and put the stone in there. Stone per red power smelts into stone wafers. But while that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and take the refined iron. Put it in the crafting chest. I get these HV cables. And then I'm going to surround it by the rest of the rubber. And I get these 4X insulated cables. Now if I got the recipe right, I put the 4X insulated cables on the side, lever in the middle, redstone on the top and bottom, and that gives me an EU splitter cable. Alright. Alright, go ahead and grab those last 2 there. And now I'm going to craft the last thing I need for the system to work. I do still have, at least I thought I had. I'll have to grab those. Alright, never mind. At any rate, and I do have to look this up, unfortunately. Yeah, alright, not gate. Alright, it requires 3 anodes. It requires 1 cathode, 1 wire, and 4 wafers. So go ahead and put all that in here, and I get my NOT gate. So now let me go ahead and grab my red alloy wire. I do not need insulated wire or bundled cable for this particular job. Am I blind, or do I not actually have... Well, worst comes to worst, I do have the red alloy ingots, which I can use to craft some. Yeah, I honestly didn't have any. I thought I did. Oh well. Anyway, I'm going to take the red alloy ingots, craft it into red alloy wire, and at this point, I've got everything I need. And this is going to be the very last project of this episode. And in case you're wondering, it is going to be it's a minor project. It's a safety switch for my IndustrialCraft room. And the reason I want a safety switch is simply because, well, let's see here. First off, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this cable here and replace it with the EU splitter. Grab some smooth stone out of there. Alright. part of me is thinking this isn't where I want it, even now. Let me think here. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck with it, aren't I? Maybe not, actually. Alright. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and put that like that. Let me think. My lever goes like so. Alright, let me have a look here at this. So what I can do is, and let me quickly test to make sure that works. It does not. Okay. No way that works. No, that's not working. Okay. Let me think here real quickly. Let me go and grab my lever back. And I'm beginning to think, let me try that on for size. Alright, let me see here. Can I put red alloy wire? No, I can't put the red alloy wire on the side of that. That said, though, if I run my red alloy wire like that, move my lever over here, why is this not working? Let me try something crazy here. I'm going to go ahead and get my redstone out. Okay, so it specifically has to be redstone, cannot be red alloy wire. That is going to make it a bit more difficult to conceal, I think. Let me think. I've got my diamond handsaw here. I might also have some stone. I don't. Okay, well, let me go ahead and use the handsaw to cut stone into slabs, slabs into panels, panels into covers. And let me put all of my tools back up for the moment. Crowbar. Alright. Now I should be able to put that there like so. Yeah. Alright, and actually, yeah, I think I sealed up already. That's good. Alright. So what's going to happen now? Alright. Alright, so my stone there. Let's go ahead and do that like so. That should work. Alright. And then if I do this like so, except that has to be straight in. So that's not going to work. Right. So basically, that means that I want it to go something like that. So yeah. Let me think, can I run this? There we go, that's more like it. Alright. Now that gives me a better opportunity to cover most of this. And because that's going to be three high, that's going to be into the ceiling anyway, so it's not really going to matter too much. Let me get my handsaw back out, because evidently I needed a few more covers. Yeah. Alright. Handsaw goes back up. Now, the biggest thing I wanted to do excuse me, is to have some indicator. And honestly, the locations of the indicators will likely be the biggest issue. More than anything else, actually. Alright, let me think here. So where am I going? How am I going to do this? You know what? I'm going to go off camera, run back to base, get some more red alloy wire, come... Alright, I am back. Yeah, at this point, let me see here. This is going to be 3 high. So, and the machines are going to be basically on the floor here, at this tier here, and then right where the extractor is. But I think that extractor is where the wire itself needs to actually run, and I don't have the tool that can. I don't have a tool that can move it at this time, so I'm stuck with the extractor there for the moment, until I figure out what tool I need. That said, because of that, I can use the third tier, the third row up here, for the indicator lights. Alright? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to dig this out here. I'm going to put a dead space block there. And then what I'm going to do is, let me think. I think I've decided that red is going to mean that the system is off, and there's no power flowing through. And then I'm going to place the NOT gate there. Yeah. And then set up the green light there. That is not what I wanted. Okay. What was supposed to happen was, when I flipped that switch up, the green light was supposed to come on. And the red was supposed to switch off. I think what happened... Yeah. That's probably going to be the easiest fix. It means that the lights won't be next to each other, but, you know, I've got the space. What is happening? Oh, I bet, yeah, that's what's happening. Alright, well, the easiest way to fix that is to put a stone cover there. Alright, and now the green means that everything's on, red, off for maintenance. Let me check something. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what? I might actually move that. Let me think. Alright, and actually that might simplify certain things as well. Let me see here. Alright, 1, 2, 3 for the red light on. 4, 5, and 6 for the green. That avoids the use of the cover plates. It gets the lights a bit... Yeah, it gets them a bit better centered. Yeah. And now we know exactly the state that our system is in. I could build a couple of signs to make it even more explicit, but for now, I think this would be a great place to end the episode. This has been episode 7 of IndustriMontagne. See you next time. This has been IndustriMontagne. Please rate, comment, and/or subscribe.